my podcast, What's Cooking. Today we have my good friend, DJ and producer, Enzo is Vernon. Woo!
Hello, thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so glad that you're here and we're doing this in person.
Yeah, it's great. Got a little beer.
Little
Mm.
cheeky Bud
Yeah,
Light
cheers to that.
for us.
A little light beer for a Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
Get me spilling my secrets.
Well, exactly, that's why you're here. Okay. I feel like when I was thinking about us chatting and like how we'd kick off the combo,
Yeah.
in my head I thought it would be nice to kind of touch on how we met.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And I don't know if you can remember this, but when you first started like coming up on social through the industry, there was a event in Liverpool.
Yeah.
And I think at the time you had 12k followers.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
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 And for whatever reason, the show didn't go ahead, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then literally, I'm talking like 8 months later, you were doing your headline show in London.
Oh yeah, Night Tales. Yeah, in June. Yeah.
And what I thought was like, how mad is it that it's gone from you having 12k followers to literally within the space of 6 to 8 months, you're selling out Night Tales. And also, not to make this about me because it's really not about me, this podcast.
It's a little bit about you.
But it was more so like you instantly thought, do you know what? I'm going to have Jada Lease on and I'm going to have Beccs. And then even like a week before, we saw each other in Liverpool. Do you remember?
Box Park.
Box Park
Yeah,
and Baltic Weekender.
Yeah.
Which was just
But
mad.
Box Park was the first event.
Yes.
But I'd already said I wanted to book you by then.
Yeah. Which is just
and then
so
we
nice.
were at Box Park and then we got that picture together.
Oh yeah, on the balcony.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that just so cute?
Yeah. And then Baltic Weekender was like a few weeks before the show, maybe?
I think it was like
It's
a
close
week
to, right?
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember saying to people, oh yeah, Enzo's meeting me before and like But I think I was just so buzzing at the time because I just couldn't believe that it was happening within such a short period of time. And both shows were just so good.
Yeah, they were good, yeah.
Yeah. You going back to back with Jada Lease?
Yeah, that was kind of we recorded that back to back.
Did you?
Yeah, no, but like it's never getting released because
What?
I was like off my head. I was so drunk by this point. By this point. And like Jay was kind of just chill. He's a very chill guy, right? He's got his cigarette and like his like he does his minimal tech thing, right? And I'm like first of all, I'm like, so obviously it's my headline show, right? Like everyone's there, my family's there, all my friends are there.
Yeah.
I'm smashed, right?
As you should.
So it gets to like, it's you, then Jay, then me.
Yes.
Was it?
Yeah.
So you, then Jay, then me, and then me and Jay, right? But by the time that me and Jay comes around, it's like 3 a.m. or whatever.
Oh my
And I'm like gone at this point. And the thing is with Jay is that he doesn't use like CDJ and then a normal mixer and like a CDJ.
Yeah.
He uses like I think Corolla does it as well, but he uses the laptop a lot. And I kind of didn't really know how to use that. So I'm like working out how to use it. And like the mixing on the mixer we recorded, my mixing is like terrible. It's like shocking.
But the thing is, I feel like we were all so battered that you wouldn't even
Oh, it didn't matter on the night, obviously, because like, everyone's like, who cares?
Yeah.
But it's just funny because like it just wasn't it wasn't my finest performance. The set was good, but you know that's kind of what it is. So we just never released it.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny, but
Well,
it was nice to have Jay though because Jay's sick.
Yeah, and he said at the time it was like one of the only sets he'd come over to England for. Like he rarely comes, and I think his sister was there, but
Yeah, she was,
enough
and his
about-
manager,
Oh.
who like didn't speak English.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, really nice guy. Yeah,
Oh, what the hell?
yeah.
Well, enough about them.
You're a bit busy.
Yeah, let's get into you. I feel like something that people might not know, and I definitely didn't know until I spoke to you about it, was kind of who you were before Enzo is Burning.
Okay.
Like, not just like school, but like going to university.
Yeah.
And in between, obviously, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're full-time touring DJ producer now, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like what would be really interesting for us to speak about is kind of what you were doing before and kind of what got you to where you are now. So, yeah.
Where do you want me to begin?
I think maybe begin. When did you first realise like music was something you wanted to do, which then made you do it at uni, sort of thing?
Music's a funny one for me because like school for me was very like I wasn't really interested in anything.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was only really interested in like. Well, I wasn't interested in anything. I wasn't interested in like English or like history a little bit. RE. Like, I was very like. I wasn't focused at all or anything. I was very just like I'm here to like just sort of piss about and get through it and just like I don't really care about. I don't have anything I'm interested in.
Yeah.
So, but then I started doing music because I started playing guitar, and that became something that kind of became my personality for like a while. I was like 14, and then I was then I was like, oh, this is like something I could actually get behind. It was like cool and it was fun and like people liked it. And I've always loved like guitar-led music,
Yeah.
So I started doing that, and then I was like, okay, great. So I did sixth form, like, and I did a bit of like music technology, like production. And then I was like, okay, well, my best mate at the time was a bass player, and he was like, I'm going to do college for a year, just do music performance or whatever, just very chill, like B-Tech, basically.
Yeah.
So I went with him and did it, and then we were in a band for a bit, and then kind of from there, I guess I was just sort of, and even before that, like I've just been in bands.
Oh really?
Like bands playing guitar, yeah, really.
I love that.
Yeah, like, and that was like my main thing, really. Like from being like 15, 16 onwards until like right up to before I started DJing, and even a bit after.
Yeah.
I was in bands. I was in like an indie rock band playing guitar. I was in like a neo soul like funk band. I was in like a metal band. I was in like I've done so like in terms of performance, like I've been in like a rock band, like I've done like all kinds of different music stuff basically. I've done like vocals as well. I was in like a rock band doing vocals one point in uni. But basically, so to get back to kind of the journey of it, it was like I did college. It was good. Then that band kind of just fell through or whatever. And then I was working for a bit. I was working at Ladbrokes actually.
Really?
Yeah, I worked at Ladbrokes when I was like 17, 18.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, when I was going to college.
I love that.
Yeah. No, it was horrible. It was the worst thing ever, yeah. Yeah, there was like, it was bad, yeah. In like the town centre where I'm from.
Really?
It was just like, Ladbrokes, just taking bets.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of old people.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, well, they didn't really have anything to do.
Yeah.
So they would just come in and bet on like the horses and stuff. And I was working there and I was just a bit depressed. I was like, oh, I've got this like guitar thing, but I've not actually done anything with it in ages. I was like, I'm not in a band, I'm not in like a music thing or anything. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to uni. So I was like, cool, I'll go to uni. I was like, Brighton, because someone I knew went to Brighton and did guitar. I literally didn't look at any other unis. I was like, well, Brighton seems like a fair shot. So like, I was like, and I'd visited, I think, before Brighton. And I was like, oh yeah, I enjoyed that, right? So I went to Brighton and I was studying guitar for a year. And then I was like, do you know what? I'm actually kind of sick of guitar.
Yeah.
Because I was like, the thing is with guitar, right, is like, if you're going to be a session musician, if you're going to make a living in guitar, you want to be in a band, obviously, or you're a session musician, thereabouts, right? Obviously, there's different ways. Or you're going to be your own artist, or you're going to be a session musician. Being a session musician is really fucking hard.
Right.
Like, and session musician basically means like, I don't want to mansplain or if I just don't know if you know much about it.
Explain away. The listeners might not know. So
so a session musician. So typically with a session musician, like if you see a wedding band and they're playing covers, that's like they're session musicians, right?
Right. Okay.
So it's kind of like you're not trying to be like you're not trying to write your own music and be like you're an artist who puts out their own music and makes a living off that. You're trying to do a lot of covers, and also even session musicians like. Say, for example, a band is going on tour, an established one, they might get a session musician in. And it's just someone who's like really good at their instrument who can adapt to a lot of different circumstances.
Yeah.
So if they're like, okay, well, I can go over there, I can learn a load of funk tunes and do a tour with this band and they'll pay me.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'll just leave and then I'll go and do something else. Or I'm a really good, heavy metal guitarist, so I can go over and I can do that with them. or someone needs me for a session to like write music for a song, you know, like write piano for a song, whatever, for a house track.
Yeah.
That's what session musician. But you're good at what you do, and you're very just like open to working with different people.
Right. Okay.
And that's obviously like the thing is you got to be really good.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to be really good at a lot of different genres.
Yeah.
So there's no, you know, you can't just specialize in one really. If you want to make steady money. I mean, some people do, and they can. And I was like, yeah, I don't really want to do that, because I didn't have a drive to get really good at guitar at that point.
Right.
I was like, I've enjoyed this, but I'm like, to keep doing it and really bang it out, I've not got that drive.
Yeah.
So I was like, I switched over to music production, because I'd always loved like hip hop and stuff like that, and making beats and all that. So like electronic music production, so computer based, you know, Ableton and Logic and all that. So I moved over to that, and then I was like, yeah, this is cool. And then basically I was unsure what I did. I was making some beats, like I was doing for some rappers and stuff like that, and that was sick. But then a friend of mine was a DJ. A friend of mine at the time was a DJ, and he was a house DJ. He taught me how to DJ, and I was like, I just really enjoyed DJing. I was like, as like a performance thing.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just really cool, and like I really enjoyed it, and I'd never done it before. And I was like, then I was getting into house music and dance. I got into dance music quite late. So then I was like, yeah, I guess this can be like the thing that I do.
What are you when you say I got into house music quite late? Like, what? How is late? What is late?
Well, I mean, so you look at like most of these people in the scene, like they get into DJing because they've been raving since they were like 16 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Which is cool, but like that wasn't the thing for me. Like I didn't go to a rave till I was like 24 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't get into house music till I was probably like 22.
Yeah.
You know, which is not that long ago, but like, you know, it's a little bit longer. We don't talk about how long ago that was. So like I got into it quite late, you know, and when I got into it, it was the era of like Patrick Toppin and kind of like when he was at his peak, and Jamie Jones and all that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Which is obviously a great time to get into it, right? So those boys were like my favourites, like Patrick Toppin, Jamie Jones, Chris Lorenzo, Sonny Fodera.
Yeah.
Like when he was literally like releasing like just albums worth of like massive bangers, you know. And that was my vibe really. That's kind of, and you can kind of see that in the music I make, I think. And I was like, yeah, cool. Like there's a huge, I was just remember just listening to house music and just being like, there's just so much that I really like. And I just keep discovering more. Disco house was my thing at first. I was like big into disco house, like really big. It's not been my thing for a while, but like I don't really DJ it except the odd stuff, but that was my main thing at first.
Yeah.
It was very feel good.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I got into that and I was like, yeah, I could do this for a career. Yeah. I was like, cool. Like, yeah.
I feel like as well, because you probably got into it a little bit later, you were kind of, when the opportunity came, you're a bit more like, I'm going to grab this and I'm just going to go with it.
Yeah.
Like, for example, with like your Enzo is Vernon SoundCloud.
Yep.
You have just been like churning tunes out on there.
Yeah, just put anything on there.
Yeah.
Any old stuff.
Anything will, it's got to be, it'll do. Which I kind of love to see, because I think you kind of always told as an artist, like, pick your lane, pick what you're good at, pick the sort of sound you want to go for. Is it that Paradise sound? Is it the Solid Groove sound? Is it the Solid Toco sound? You know, it's always like kind of pick your lane.
Yep.
Whereas I feel as though you've chosen the way that your like music setup is to have whatever you kind of want within reason.
Yeah.
Within reason on the SoundCloud. And that's kind of where your whole journey really started to blow up. Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously I came up off like social media, which is, you know, sorry guys. Yeah, I didn't spend. Yeah, get out. You didn't spend 5 years playing like support slots to two people, so you know, whatever. But like,
your stripes.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Which is, you know, it's funny because like, obviously, but the thing is that you kind of, but to get to what you were saying anyway, before I go into that, is like, my thing with setting myself up is like, I just sort of do stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like if I feel a pull to do it, I'll just do it, and I don't really think too hard about it. Like for example, if you look at my Spotify, like I do think everything has like a running theme. You can kind of know that is me, but it's also variations within that theme.
Yeah.
Like obviously Cat, for example, is a Latin house track, right?
Yeah.
But that's still me, and it's still like got big support from everyone, and it's still something. And then on my mind is a disco house tune, but with an acid bass line.
Yeah.
So like, and it's still me, right? And then obviously, you know, like the other stuff, like, you know, My Wave with Benny, like that's like a Latin-y house, but also got the kind of R&B vocal on it. R&B vocal, I mean, it's just what people love to say whenever there's like, you know, anyone like kind of rapping or like, so, whenever anyone's like, oh, it's R&B vocal, yeah, it's like, okay, fine.
You just assume it's from
it's like,
Cloud or whatever. Actually, no, it's an original guy.
It's an original guys, but so I think I vary things quite a lot, but I've and maybe that's against my detriment. I don't really know, because you can't zoom out and be like, oh, you should have done this at this point and then that point.
No.
You know, but so like, I just feel like I'm quite stubborn.
Okay.
So like, I'm just kind of like, if that's what's kind of coming through me, and that's what's like, and it's good, then like, why deny people it? You know what I mean? Like on my Enzo's burner account, there's like a garage edit.
Yeah.
I never play it.
No.
I've never played it. It's 134 BPM or something.
Yeah.
Like, I never go above 130. So it's like, and I don't play garage, but like I sent it to my like Smokey brother Lin B. I was like, you do garage, like do you like this tune? He was like, yeah, love it, mate. And it's like, it's summery and fun. I was like, great, you can have it. You can just play it if you want.
Yeah.
You know, because like it's just fun, you know, and like I think there's something to be said for like just doing stuff and having like an outlet where people know that it doesn't necessarily represent who you are as an artist entirely. Yeah. As in like, because obviously the Spotify and the full releases and that's kind of, you want like a good story there, right? Yeah. But then obviously if you're going to do SoundCloud, it's like, you may as well just give people music.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? It's like, oh, he's giving us more music. It's like, cool.
I think as well, like, it just shows that you're quite authentic as well.
Yeah.
Like, you're not there for the bullshit. You're not.
I like to think so. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think as well, there's so many elements of the industry, especially at the moment, where like it does feel sometimes quite serious.
So inauthentic.
Yeah, and like.
It's cringy. Yeah. Give me another beer. I'll stop talking. Nah, like carry on. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I feel like there's that element of seriousness, but what I've found as well is, like you said, and a lot of DJs who are like massive in terms of like Max Dean, Luke Dean, that sort of thing, they always just talk about having fun with music. And I think people do get bogged down in the like, oh, I need to be making this sound, I need to be making that sound, but it's so refreshing to hear, like you say, let's just make this for fun. I mean, I don't know if you saw, I think it was Max Dean had done like a shaving ad as just a bit of fun. And I think even just those stories, like you say, just chucking things out there, giving it to people, I just really love that. I think it's such a nice message to send to people, especially people who are like up and coming and maybe are still trying to like figure out what their sound is. Poor Hemplo, me, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's really nice. I think something that I would love to touch on is, this could come across really boring, but softwares. I feel like people either use one or the other, Logic or Ableton. Yeah. What are you using?
Some weirdos use Fruity Loops as well.
Look, never heard of it. That might be because of uncultured.
That's like, we don't talk about those people. Yeah. I might have upset a few people there, to be fair, but it's like they'll be okay.
There'll be people using.
As soon as they grow up and stop using Fruity Loops, then they'll get over it. Do you know what I mean? They'll be fine. So I use Ableton. Yeah. Yeah, but I it's funny, like speaking of uni, I learned music tech. I learned on Logic. Yeah. And when I got to uni, they were like, "Oh yeah, we want to give you like a free version of Ableton." And I was like, "I'm not using that, mate." I was like, "I'm not using that shit." And then like,
why were you so opposed? Do you think?
Because I was like Logic, and I looked at Ableton, right, and Ableton's very like simple layout, and I was like, "This looks like a child's." It's like a Windows XP whatever, right? No, but I love it now.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And I used it, right, for a bit, and I was like, I actually really like this.
Yeah.
It's really intuitive for how it like worked for dance music. I think it's the best.
Yeah.
And for electronic music. So when I started using it, and then I was great. And then like, this is obviously however many years. And now it's like, you know, now I'm like, like I know my way around it. Yeah. So it's just, it's better. Yeah. It's just the best.
I feel like as well, you can just trial loads of different things out in, I'm going to say session view. You know, the one where it's like this.
I never use that.
Do you not?
No, I've never used that.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, is it good?
Yeah, I would say so. Do you know, I started with using the arrangement view, so like the long version, and that's how I would start with like my loops and stuff. But then I started doing a course back last year, like start of last year. I did it for about 4 months, and we would start everything in session view, and it kind of just allows you to like test and trial different ways. So like, I don't know, you wouldn't just like have one variation of your breakdown. You could trial it in so many different ways because there's just so many different ways to do it, if that makes sense. Like turn them on and off. That's
intriguing.
Yeah, well,
because I literally never even touch it.
I feel like you should try it, honestly. Like it's good when like I've been in a rut and been like, because I love a breakdown, right? But I struggle to write them sometimes. So then I'm like, right, I'm just gonna have to get in session view, and I'm just gonna have to turn things on and off, turn different instruments on and off, and then see where I get with it.
What is it you struggle with?
What do I struggle with? I struggle with making it feel powerful but not cringy.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, how do you approach breakdowns?
I think the way you got to look at a breakdown is like, I think house music's one of the simplest things ever. I don't mean easy when I say that. I mean simple, in that a breakdown, all it is taking out what they've been used to, so that when you bring it back, it like you have that moment again.
Yeah.
If you look at it that simply, then like, to me, just a breakdown should literally just be like, you can get techie with it, obviously, but like, if your bass is hitting, for example, and your kick drum's hitting, right, take out your bass and your kick drum, great, and then just kind of 32 bars, do whatever you want over it, have like a rise or whatever if you want.
Yeah.
But then like, the important thing is the release, which is obviously when the stuff comes back in. So if you're just emphasizing when the stuff is going to come back in, and everything just builds towards like that coming back in, once it comes back in, everything's going to be good again.
Yeah.
So it's like, if your bass and your drums are hitting, then like your breakdown doesn't have to be like mad.
Yeah.
You know, and the guys like the kind of like the really minimal tech guys know this quite well, because they don't really do the big breakdowns. No. Like crew cuts, that sort of thing.
Pause.
Yeah, well, Pause is a perfect example of everything because he's the best ever. So,
your idol.
Yeah, literally, yeah. So like, if your bass and your drums are hitting, my point is, I guess, just that like, take them out for a bit. Just kind of play around with it. Take as long as you want. Like someone like Capriati is a good example. He just takes so long, and it's like you're on his time. Do you know what I mean? But that's live, obviously. It's a bit different. And then like, the shared reality of dance music is once the bass and the drums are back in, everyone's gonna be like, "Hey!" Right? So it's kind of like you don't have to complicate things, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. I think house music is quite simple.
Yeah.
I think people overcomplicate it.
Yeah. I do think that, especially like now that everyone is really getting into like techniques. Have you seen?
Yeah.
Have you do you follow Syntho?
No.
Well, Syntho. Do you know much about Syntho?
Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of technique stuff on there, which obviously when you're like trying to develop your sound a bit more and have that like unique edge, they talk about that a lot. And I think, me personally, I definitely put a lot of pressure on myself to like try these techniques and see if they work for me.
Yeah, you don't need to do that.
But well, there you go.
You don't because it's just like, this is the thing with stuff that's kind of tutorial based stuff, right? Is that like, I think it misses the kind of crucial point, which is that house music and dance music is a very simple genre, right? But simplicity is really hard to package and sell. You know, like I can't sell a course on, or maybe I can. We'll see about that. I can't sell a course on like, or at least like the idea of selling a course on like, you know, making a good tune out of a kick drum, a hi hat, a clap, and one bass, and maybe like a you know, like a rim shot or a clave. That's not really that appealing. People like flashy things. People like sounds that are all woo and they're weird, right? But what I've seen a lot with the kind of this instructional stuff is like it goes too far into that, and it doesn't really talk about like the why and the basics of kind of like, I'm trying not to waffle, I'm trying to be like coherent, of kind of the fact that if you can't make something hit with, you know, a few 909 like drum samples and a bass, then you're not really making house music.
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down here.
You know?
You're trying to say like, if you can't get those ideas down on paper in the simplest form and them hit as hard in its simplest form, what's the point in adding the bells and the whistles?
Well, there isn't. But the point is for stuff like that is because it makes you, because it's something to sell, and it goes like, you can have this clout or this like great tune if you buy this, right? That's kind of what you're getting to. Whereas like, to me, like if you literally can't sit there with a bass and a drum loop, and you can't just, whatever loop you've made in whatever space or whatever, and you can't just loop it and just be like for like 10 minutes, then like, I don't really think you've got a good house track.
Yeah.
That seems like a hot take, but I don't actually think it is.
No, I think that's,
you know,
that's really good, because that was kind of what I was going to go into next, was how do you know when you're like, yeah, this is the right sound, this is kind of what I wanted to get out of this session. So that's kind of nice that you said that, because I saw as well, like you and Beccs recently, he was saying like, you know, his new house tune, I can't remember what it's called, like House.
When did it come out?
13th. It's
I don't think I've heard it.
Can I share my house with
No, I've not heard it.
Have you not heard it?
No, sorry.
Oh, it's okay, don't worry. So basically, he just had a loop of that, and he had it for 2 years and just didn't know what to do with it, but he knew it slapped. So I feel like that kind of sings to what you were saying, like when you know something's good, you can play it in a loop for however long, you know it slaps. So is that kind of how you decide, right, yeah, this is what I want to run with, like what? Yeah,
because I think if I'm playing something and I'm like, whether I start with a bass or a drum, usually I start with drums. Actually, a lot of the time it's drums and vocal, if I've got a vocal there, but like drums mostly. And I'm just like, if I can't just solo the drums and they sound good, and there's like a pocket of, you know what I mean? And when I say pocket, I mean like, you know how like drummers have a pocket of like, and that's what gives it the human feel or whatever. And you just feel it and you go, like, do you know what I mean? Like someone like Stevie Wonder's drummer or whatever, anything like that, right? Or Michael Jackson's drummer, like they have their pocket as like, they can be just playing drums on their own, and you'll be like, that thing, right? We all know it, obviously, but it's like hard to quantify, I guess. But you go and you're like, oh, right. If you can't kind of get that, then your goal should be to just be get that. And to just keep trying and get it. And it's like, cool. And then like, as soon as you've got like a nice drum pocket, the bass is like it's the easiest thing ever. All it has to do is like hit the right frequency. Do you know what I mean? Because like it's going to be projected over these club speakers, and as long as it feels good, then cool. Whereas a lot of the stuff I hear now is kind of like, I hear a lot of instrumentation, and I think there's a place for it for sure. But like, I don't really think it's core. If you strip back everything to that bass and drums, have you actually got a good like loop going?
Right. Okay.
And I don't really. Sometimes I just think that's lacking.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So the focus, because it's easy to pile things on top of each other, and be like, oh, this is going to sound good because it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And sure, it's a lot of good stuff. It's a lot of nice sounding synths and a lot of like really clean, you know, emulation of like this and that, and really clean drum samples. But like, it's not necessarily a cohesive thing, you know? And like, but that's the thing. That's what I always bang on about. I'm just like, I just feel like if you can't get it done simply, you can't really get it done. You know, you're not really getting it done. Yeah. In my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know. That's fair. No, that makes sense. I would love to hear about how you find collaborating with other artists. Obviously, you just released with Eloise.
Yeah. Jaguar. Out now. Go and stream it.
Very heavy, I would say.
Yeah, right?
It's very chunky and like it has some like industrial elements, I would say. And yeah, I just want to understand like how you find collaborating and what do you enjoy most about collaborating with other artists?
I think for me, like, I think that it's kind of the randomness of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I don't ever go into a session with loads of beats ready.
Oh, really?
Nah, not really.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't really matter. I don't think like, because I think like at some point you got to trust yourself that like you're gonna be able to make something on the spot, or you're gonna be able to at least start something. You know, it's people get caught up with like, oh, I'm embarrassed to be fiddling around in front of a vocalist. It's just like no, like they'll be fine. Just like, do you know what I mean? Do you think?
Part of the process.
Yeah, literally. Like, so I'll go in and I'm just like, I like chatting to people about what they've been listening to and just like what they've got on and like all that stuff, because that's when people really kind of, if you're trying to connect with someone, right? If it's a really mechanical transactional thing, then it's like that's probably not going to result in a very compelling final result, because it's very like, I've done this and you've done that and let's do that. Great, fantastic. You know, like for example with Eloise with Jaguar, like me and Eloise were working on stuff and she was putting some sort of like rough vocals down on a beat that I just made, and I was like, yeah, you know, it's cool. Like weren't that attached to either bit, or whatever. And I was like, well, what have you got anything already? And she was like, well, I got this acapella, this Jaguar one, right? And she was like, because I just love making that really kind of silly, like kind of sexy, like stuff, just on my own, just cool stuff like Charlie XCX vibe. I was like, cool, play me it, right? And she played me it, and obviously, but someone had written to it a very like Tomorrowlandy, like euphoric kind of EDM vibe to it.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, get that out, right? They never got released basically, yeah. So she just had it sitting around, yeah. Right, it never got released. So I was like, cool, send me the vocal. And then I put the vocal in and I was like, yeah, because I just heard the vocal and I was like, I've got something for this. And like, and then literally I knew in my head, I was like, I want to go with like with the kind of Brazilian vibe of like the kind of the hi-hats that are like choppy, and then like the kind of big bass sort of sound, like the Beltran kind of Pedros, like Greg 99, like stuff like that. And then I was like, basically when I heard it, I was like, oh, I know where that needs to go. I know what needs to happen to that track, to that vocal. It's like that. So then I laid some stuff down, and then I laid like the synth down, like the and I was just like, yeah, this makes sense. And then basically I kept working on it at home, and then it kind of just happened quite naturally, you know. Like, and I think that I don't like with anything good artistically, like there's no force in it. Yeah. I guess, you know, but that's quite a cliche thing to say. So kind of, I guess for me anyway, it's just a case of like, I'm just down to meet people, I guess.
Yeah, and I was going to ask that, like, did you arrange that like through socials? Is that something that like your management help you with? Because I feel like there's so many different ways that people do it now. Like people will do it. Maybe there's been a vocalist that said, I've got this sick bit that keeps going off in my head, and then they put it on TikTok and people are like, yeah, let's link up, whatever. But then there's also like people like Centric who might do creative sessions with people, or is it just solely you? Like, who helps you with it, or is it all you?
I mean, a lot of it comes off like me DMing someone, or my management DMing someone. Like I'm not afraid to DM someone. Yeah. I'll DM anyone for a collaboration. I mean, like I just be like, yo, what's good? Yeah. But like the Eloise thing was, I was in a session with AC Slater, who I've got coming up a US tour with, and a release. And Eloise was just around because they know each other. They've got like stuff on Night Bass and that. And Eloise came into the session, and I'd never met her, and I was like, cool, yeah, what's good, like. And she was like, oh yeah, like actually, I like your stuff. Like, I'd love to DM you. And I was like, yeah, cool, DM me, right? And I was like, she was like, do you want to get a session in? And I was like, yeah, cool, like let's do it. And then obviously that happened. Yeah. So it was like very random. And like I've got a tune with a girl called Legs Dina, who's but the reason I DM'd her is because she did the vocal on like one of my favorite tunes last year, which was a Hot Creations record called Another Dimension. Yeah. With like Nariman and Raphael. And she was the vocal on it, and I spun that tune so much. Like I had it before it was out, and I was just spinning it, and I really love her vocal. And I just DM'd her. I said, "I love your vocal." And it's like, can we make something? And then like, she got back to me, and I was like, "Great." And then we did a session, and she's like laid down some insane like vocal for me, and which arguably we've made something better than the tune that I actually really loved her on. So like, you know, I'm just kind of like, stuff should be quite random, I think. Yeah. And sometimes my management goes like, oh, these people's management hit me up, like, do you want to do it? And I'll be like, yeah, cool. I don't do like a big research thing of like, oh yeah, I've got to know exactly what you do. It's musician, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you're probably going to make something. If not, don't really matter, does it?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think that's quite nice that you like mix it up. And it's so nice that you also DM people. for clarity, for collaboration.
For collaboration, yeah. Like, you got to just whatever, innit? Like,
yeah.
if you want something, then...
Go get it.
Yeah, I guess so.
If you don't ask.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you ever experience creative block?
Creative block?
Yeah.
Not really.
No.
Because it's not really how I work.
That's good.
Because I don't really... I think creative block comes because your creative process is like built around, I have to make something.
Yeah.
That you can't get creative block in if that's not how you work creatively.
Yeah.
Because the reason, obviously, creative block is like, there's only a block because the reality with creating stuff, right? So let me get a bit existential, and this is how I view creativity and like making art in any form, whatever. Is that I read a book, at like the start of 2023, and 2023 was the year that I kind of blew up on socials and that.
Yeah.
Start of 2023, and I was like, cool, I want to just sort of like do this DJing thing. I read a book called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, not The Art of War, but The War of Art. And in that, it's kind of like supposed to just be, it's just quite a short book, like a guide for how to be a creative and how to just make art.
Yeah.
And then he was like, he just said something which is the fact that if you want to do anything creatively, it's very simple. Whether you want to paint, whether you want to like write books or make music, whatever. Because the way he said, he was like, he's a writer. So he was like, I get up in the morning, I go to my writing desk. He's like, I write for about 4 hours, and then I put away my typewriter and I go and I do other stuff for the rest of the day. And he says like, was it any good? I have no idea, but I've done it. Right? And that to me just made a lot of sense, because I was like, because it's like, you actually, people talk a lot about like, you've got to trust yourself and trust your vision and just like, blah, blah, blah. What does that actually mean though, right? It's like, okay, well, how do I trust myself and trust my vision, right? Well, maybe you don't really have to trust anything. Maybe you just have to do, right? Because like, trust your vision is like, well, there's a million things that's going to get in the way of you trusting your vision, which is like, I'm insecure. I don't think my art's good enough. I've not got enough good feedback in the last year. I've been doing it for 5 years and no one likes it. So like, the way to get around all that is to just do. And that was the point that he was making, which was like, and it doesn't have to be 4 hours. It's like whether you do it for half an hour or whether you do it for, 6 hours, whatever, everything in between. The fact is you just get up and you make an effort to do for a bit, as much as you can every day, and then you leave it alone and you literally just don't think about it.
Yeah.
Like, and I started doing that, and I was like, I'm not gonna, because the thing is with writer's block, right, is that like, it's because you go, and the good thing with that approach is like, if you start writing and you go, right, well, I'm writing, I'm not really making anything I care about, and you just say, I guess I'll call it in like, 20 minutes or whatever, then maybe you make something and you go for another 2 hours, maybe you just call it in 20 minutes, and you just go, all right, well, we'll try again tomorrow, I guess. Yeah. And it's not that deep. It's never that deep, right? Because the thing is with creative block is like, it's not really a block, it's more just a you telling yourself that you have to make something.
Yeah.
So it's more like a creative, you're just punching yourself in the face because you're like, oh my God, I need to make, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you don't make anything for a bit, then it's fine. But like, you're always making, you know what I mean? If you're not, because what is like the end result that you're trying to get to? Are you only creating something valid if it's like a 3-minute song that you can send out to people? You're creating if you make like a 30-second loop. And if you sit down, you make a 30-second loop and you go like, well, that's all right. I don't really think I've got anything else. I'm going to leave it till tomorrow. And then you've made something, right?
Yeah.
So like, creative block, like, just put some stuff down. You need to detach yourself, I think, a bit, which is like, and the way you do that is by getting up, creating, and then just being like, well, is it good? Don't know, really. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you just kind of, you move on from there.
Yeah. And keeping that consistency.
That's literally all it is to me. And like, that's kind of, that book kind of really just blew my mind a bit. And I would just recommend that to everyone, because it's like I said, everyone likes to talk about like, yeah, trust the process and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Trust the process. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get it, but it doesn't really tell you how to do anything, right?
Yeah,
Someone say, if I say to you, trust the process of that how does that make you feel?
I could probably probably just sit back all week and not do anything.
Well, exactly, right?
Yeah.
But how does it make you feel? It makes you just feel a bit confused. It makes you just feel about, all right, thanks for the advice.
Like it's out of my hands.
Yeah. It's like, but you can just do and just be like, I'm okay with having done, and then you just move on. And that's exactly what I was doing when everything like happened for me.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I was doing. I was literally just like, I'm like, I have this thing, and then I put it out there, got some traction. Had another thing, but I got loads of traction.
Yeah.
But at no point was I like, oh my god, I was like beating myself up. I was just like, I'm doing, you know, and that was the important thing.
Yeah.
And that might take a year, it might take 5 years, whatever. It might take 6 months, but like, you just got to get on with it. In my opinion, you've got to give yourself loads of chances to be creative.
Yeah.
Like that is the way you do that, is consistency, like every day. And also just like you said, like, is it any good? I have no idea. What's that? Who am I to kind of? It's not about that.
Yeah, and I think as well with the power of social media, like how you came up, you were able to just test that creativity online by saying like what people think to this.
Yeah, it's just like an endless thing of like people can just give me their, and if they like it, they will do that with it. And if they don't really, if they don't care, it will just do that. And if they don't like it, it will just do that and move on to the next one, right?
Yeah,
that's what anything is.
Yeah.
You know.
How do you find producing when you're on tour? Like, what is tour life like for you? I mean, don't get me wrong, I have no experience in tour life at all. I mean,
you've gigged though, like you've done some sick gigs, like.
Yeah, but I'm not DJing like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, you've got an America tour coming up. You were away last summer doing festivals. You're abroad. You're in Ibiza.
Yeah.
Like, how does that affect you? One, like, do you enjoy it or do you not? And an extension to that question is like, when you're on tour, like how does that work with your production? Like, do you feel as though you get a lot of your production done when you're in the quiet months and then it gives you time to breathe on tour, or like what's the vibe there? I
don't love touring, to be honest.
Really?
Well, I don't love the act of touring. I love like the playing.
Yeah.
But like the actual travel and everything like that, and the loneliness really kind of detracts it for me.
Yeah.
Like, because touring is a very lonely thing, and like, you know, like I was like last year was got quite crazy for me, because it was like, you know, I would do like, you know, for example, I would be in like Spain, and then that weekend I go to Croatia, whatever. Excuse me. And then yes, the beer. Yeah.
Slow down on the beer.
Like, so you'll be in like Spain, then you'll be in like this place, and then the next week I had like an American tour, my first like proper American tour, and you come back and you've got a festival in the UK that weekend, and then it's like blah, blah, blah. And you know, when you do the American tour, it's like you're doing all these domestic flights as well. You're doing like 12 hours to get to LA, and then you're doing like 4 hours and 5 hours and blah, blah, blah. You know, I did like LA to like Texas off of like 2 hours sleep, then played in Texas for like 3 hours, then got like half an hour sleep, and then went to like New York, played for an hour and a half, then went to like Arizona, then got like 40 minutes sleep in Arizona, and then I'm like in Washington, and then I'm playing like a 2 hour set there. And it's like, this does take a toll on you. Yeah. It proper takes a toll. It took a toll on me anyway, because like,
do you lose track of days? Like, what is it like?
I just lose track of like, you just become a bit of a shell. I think. Yeah. It's quite, like it was difficult for sure. Like touring is quite difficult for me, just because like, I think it's difficult for everyone, isn't it? But it's like, you know, on the end of the day, like, you know, you say like touring is difficult, and it's like, oh, well, like, you know, you should like love it. You should always like, it was like very like, you know, if you play, for example, if I play a 2 hour set in Ibiza, from like leaving my flat in London and getting back to my flat in London is like an 18-hour journey, right? Everything considered. So for 2 hours of DJing, it's really 18 hours of round trip. That's not very, doesn't add up well, does it? No, right? Yeah. So like, that's what people don't realize, I think, because obviously you don't see all the ins and outs, and it's like, you see like obviously the highlights of like, oh yeah, like this set here and this set there, great, it's sick, and it is sick when it's good, but then like all the shit around it is just like being in like some shitty train station, being in an airport for hours, being like, you know what I mean, just dealing with this and that and having luggage and all that sort of stuff. It's like, it's very tiring.
Yeah.
You know?
don't get to see that part, I guess.
Yeah, obviously, because like, it's boring. Who gives a shit, right? You know, well, fair. But like, you know what I mean? You're going to sat there and watch some guy being like, oh, I'm really depressed and I'm in the airport. You just go, you want to see him like, you know, like, hey, I'm a DJ and all that stuff, right? Fair enough. Obviously, I wouldn't watch someone fucking like being depressed in an airport.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I guess just like, you know, obviously the job is like what it is, and it's amazing in ways, and it's also like, it's also difficult. It is a really difficult job still.
Yeah.
That's what people don't really realise, I guess. Maybe they do. Who knows? Doesn't really matter, you know. I find it difficult,
Yeah.
but also rewarding, and do you know what I mean? So like,
because there's that performance element, which I suppose is
Yeah.
where you get that buzz from and why you keep going.
yeah, but then like, obviously that's a very finite thing,
Yeah.
and you know, as soon as that's done, you're kind of thinking about, well, where have I got to be tomorrow,
Yeah.
or in like 12 hours.
So, do you not have a tour manager then? Because
I do have a tour manager, yeah.
yeah, because I was gonna say like, I remember having a conversation with Brad. Brad, for those who don't know, is Enzo's manager. He is lovely. I remember having a conversation with Brad at Forbidden Forest, and he was saying he was coming with you more. But is it Brad that's coming with you, or
No, I do have a TM. His name's
Yeah.
Morgs. Morgs, yeah, I'd appreciate a shout out.
Yeah.
He DJs as well.
Love
Does
that.
events in Leicester and stuff like that.
Nice.
So I bring him to certain stuff. You know, like, it's you know, it's more just like, I guess it's more just like a physical toll. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's difficult because like it's tough when you're like, because like two of the main things that will mess up anyone like as a human is like not sleeping well and not eating well.
Yeah.
Because we're very simple creatures really, and
Yeah.
those are two of the things that will like mess us up.
Yeah.
And then when you add like alcohol and whatever into the mix, you really, things are getting difficult, right, for your body.
Yeah.
So I just find my body getting exhausted at certain times. So really preparing myself has been more of a consideration, like with a TM or with like just having sufficient time off. Because the thing is, when it's January and, you know, nothing's going on, you say yes to everything. It's like, oh, they want to do this in June and this in July and then like this in May. And it's like, oh, that sounds great. Let's do it. I'm literally sat home doing fuck all, don't I mean? Like in London, it's raining. I'm like, oh, they want to see me in LA in June. And it's like, great, obviously.
Yeah.
But then it gets to June and it's just like, oh yeah, I've got about 20 things on this month. And it's like, I've like accepted a lot of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And you've got to do it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's about being mindful of stuff like that in advance.
Yeah.
You know?
So do you feel as though you fuel yourself differently? Like, do you take things steadier now, or are you still very much like, you'll have a drink and you'll go out afterwards, or is it more like, I know this weekend is just full of all this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not going to drink, or I'm...
Yeah, like to have a drink, for me to like actually have a proper drink is like, it's got to be something I really want to do.
Yeah.
I don't just say like, oh, fuck it, I'll just do it. To have like a proper drink, like, because like, I did that enough. Like, 2024, I did like 80 shows or whatever. I did that like so much. Because I was bringing loads of mates and all that.
Yeah.
2025, I did it a fair bit as well because like America and whatever, right? I mean, like, you know, obviously you saw like how things were going down at some points, and it's like, because you just think fuck it, right? But then at some point you go like, oh yeah, well I have to be here tomorrow. Yeah. And when you realise that, oh, I can really set myself up well if I just chill. Yeah. It becomes like, oh yeah, I might do that then. Yeah. I might just chill. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, like sometimes you let it go, you know, that's fine, but it's part of it. But like, I do like being more mindful, yeah, because like obviously the health thing's a big thing for DJs now. Everyone's going on runs and doing all that sort of stuff.
I'm not a runner.
I run, yeah.
I remember us talking about that because we were speaking about like me doing the Couch to 5K, but I did it for 3 weeks and I had to sack it off. I'm not a runner. Like, I'm not a runner.
I mean, you might not be.
No, I don't think.
But you see, like, you know, like Patrick Topping, who I love, and he's so great, and he's just like posting on his story, because he's sober, and he posted on his story like before a show, like, you know, just did a 10K, like I'm just having a run around Spain at the moment, like I'm just like, fair play to you, mate. You're gonna do a 4-hour set later. Like, I'm like, do you know what I do when I've got a 4-hour set? I'm like in bed till about midday, and then I'm like, okay, I think I can get up now. Maybe go to the sauna, go to the pool. Like, he's like, I'm doing 5K, 10Ks, like at the beach and that. I'm like, well, he looks like a man who does 10Ks, honestly. Yeah. Fair play to him. Yeah. Yeah.
So, how are you feeling about your US tour? Because I remember us speaking about how excited you were for the American crowds and like the American vibe. Yeah. I know you're quite close with Joshua.
Yeah.
Like, how are you feeling about all that?
I'm feeling pretty good, to be honest. Like, we've planned stuff pretty well, like in terms of, because another thing with the US stuff is like, last year I couldn't really be picky about scheduling.
Yeah.
So I'll be going like West Coast to East Coast and doing that, which is obviously more travel, more tiring. This time we've kind of got privilege of like doing it a bit more smart, where you're kind of doing that,
Right.
you know, and it's just so it's like makes more sense, right?
Yeah.
So, but like I'm buzzing for it because like I'm doing it with AC as well, AC Slater, who we're gonna have like a record with them as well. We'll get a record out, and like it'll be nice. Like I'm because I like America a lot. I mean, parts of America, like
Just to clarify.
yeah, like you got some stuff going on over there that I don't really like very much, but you know, I do really like the culture, and like there's a lot of really good people, you know, a lot of really, really good people, like especially in the music scene, like the LA guys, like just people like Insomniac and those guys, like they've had the record with them, My Wave, they looked after me like when I was out there, you know, like AC obviously he's doing his thing, like Chris Lorenzo, he lives out there, like just loads of like sick people who are really welcoming. I mean, everyone I played for out there was so welcoming and so like lovely, and the people are fun, you know what I mean? Like, and it's the food's, you know, it's not good for you, but it's like, it's good, you know? It's just fun, you know? New York sick, Katz's Deli, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, literally, yeah, everything's just salt.
Yeah,
just like,
honestly.
oh, why does it taste so good? It's like, it's salt.
Yeah. Caesar salad's like 10,000 calories.
Yeah, I wouldn't even bother. I would literally just have the fried chicken if I was you, to be honest. So like, I do love that part of it for sure, yeah. And I'm feeling good about it, you know, like, also, I've got a break after I come back from there. Like we've scheduled in a break of like, you know, so it's just clear in advance where it's like, I know I've got like 2 weeks off. You know what I mean? I can be in London in my flat, get a massage, go to the sauna. You know what I mean? Chill for a bit. Yeah, have regularity. You know, because it's the regularity of sleep and all that kind of stuff that kind of is a killer. I think. Yeah. You know, it really just minds with jet lag as well. Yeah. But like I'm buzzing for it. Like I do like being in America a lot. I like LA a lot. Like, do
you feel like you'll move? Eventually, or maybe do a stint?
Maybe. I would do a stint, yeah, probably. Yeah. I've got no plans this year because I love London. Yeah. You know, I do really like London.
Where are you based in London?
I live in East London.
East London?
Yeah. Like all good DJs. You don't know much about East London?
No.
That's where all the DJs are.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to start wrapping this up. I've just got a few more things, and then we'll go on to the quick fire questions.
Okay, yeah.
Unless you want to touch on anything.
No, I think I'll just respond to whatever you've got lined up.
Okay, final 3.
Okay.
What is a hard truth about the industry that maybe people wouldn't know?
A hard truth.
Yeah. Or a nice truth. It doesn't have to be a hard truth.
A hard truth. I feel like you're somewhat limited in this industry unless you're willing to like get on the sesh. Yeah. I do feel that. Yeah.
Yeah. I resonate with that as well because I feel like a lot of connections are made at the afters.
Yeah.
And I can't lie, like I'm not always in the
It's tiring, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to go to bed.
Yeah, sometimes
but
I just want to get in the taxi.
But then you have a conversation with someone, you get someone's number and it's like good things happen. It's like it wouldn't have happened unless I was, you know, in a state with this person. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's a good hard truth. Okay. What advice would you give to younger Enzo maybe before
younger me?
Yeah, like before you were Enzo is burning, before Give It Up. What advice would you give to your younger self in the position that you are in now?
That's a good one.
Take your time.
I'd probably be like, do you know what I'd do? I'd say get your press shots done now because like I didn't have press shots and then I blew up. And I had to scramble to get press shots. People asked me press shots, and I was like, "I've got a selfie if you want it." Like, do you know what I mean? Type thing. So I was like, yeah, I guess. Well, maybe that, and then also just like keep at it. I guess. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, trust the process, my friend. Yeah. There's trust in it.
Okay, and then the final one is what's next for you? Like, what's on your bingo card?
So got the the reason I'm in Manchester is like got the Joshua Book show tomorrow because I'm launching my brand Gatty, Great Art Takes Time Idiot, which is my brand. and I'm doing I'm doing Josh Brick's headline, and then 93 Feet East on the 27th.
What cap is that? I don't think
93.
Yeah.
600 and something.
Oh, sick.
I'm not sure.
That's sick. I love that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. You know, it might not be.
I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, put it on the screen. Yeah, because I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really concern myself with these things.
Yeah.
And then just like basically, I've got enough music now like lined up. I'm gonna get about like 6 or 7 tunes out this year, probably more as well if you count like bootlegs and stuff like that, and just random releases. Like obviously having my label now, it means I can just put stuff out.
And you putting it
kind of whenever I want.
Gatti?
Yeah. So most of it's gonna come through Gatti or like unless it gets signed, obviously. But like it's Gatti via like co-brand stuff like that.
Yeah.
Who have been sick. So like just basically more music because like I've got a load of stuff I want to drop and stuff people have been asking me for a while now, so I'm getting that out. More festival stuff, obviously. I've got some nice London things coming up as well. Can't obviously tell you anything about that yet, but some London festival stuff which would be cool.
Yeah.
And then just like probably do like a couple US trips this year.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of it. Am I missing anything?
I don't know. Your episode will be coming out.
Music tour. Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay, we're on to quick fire now. You ready?
Yeah.
Go to closing track.
Dive Boy, so Born Slippy, but it's my edit.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, I always close with that.
Yeah. Artists people are sleeping on potentially. I hate the word sleeping on, but you know what I mean? Like artists, someone that everyone should know.
Yeah, the ones everyone should know. I'm gonna say. Oh my god, I've gone so blank. What the hell? There is. Oh, who's it? Oh, there's a guy called Paulie. Yeah, Paul Mond. Paulie, who does like house tunes, but kind of garagey as well. I think he's German. Or he's from Amsterdam. Might be Dutch. I'm not too sure. But he makes bangers. So Paulie, shout out that guy.
Biggest inspiration?
Pauser.
Favorite collaboration?
That's come out. My favorite collaboration is My Wave with Benny.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Easily.
Favorite festival?
What festivals have I played? Boardmasters, that was good.
Was it?
Yeah, it was really good, yeah.
I've never been.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. I love that. Okay, what would you be doing if you weren't doing music?
I'd be an actor.
Would you?
Yeah.
Maybe that's... When you did the accent earlier, I was thinking...
It's pending anyway.
Yeah.
I've been doing some theatre.
Yeah. A track that always works for you. It goes off.
I'm going to do it again. I'm going to shout out my boy, Charlie from France. Got a track called Riddle Man.
Yeah.
And when he sent me it, it was literally called V1 because it was just like version 1 of an untitled track. And it's still called V1 on my USB.
Yeah.
And I just can't help myself. I just play it so much still.
Yeah.
So much. It just bangs.
One track that you wish you made.
I wish I made.
Yeah.
Money Talks by Porter. No, because isn't that great, you know? That'd be good. No, one track I wish I made. If we're really talking like classic house.
Any house. Anything.
Okay, well let's just say Money Talks by Porter.
Okay.
Let's just say that.
Okay.
No. Actually, no. One track I wish I made, Sipping Yak by Clooney. That's just like number one party tune. And then a more classic one that I wish I made, probably Life Rhythms by E Smooth. Just a really just groovy, vibey house. It's just like house music, do you know what I mean? You're like, this is what house music should be.
Yeah. I'm going to have to listen to that one.
I think it's called that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly was expecting you to like pull out an Armin van Helden.
Armin van Helden?
Yeah, like a my, or like...
yeah, but like...
No, you've said your piece now. You've said your piece.
You know, I mean, he's the boy.
Yeah.
That's true.
Dream collab, dead or alive?
Dream collab, dead or alive? I want to get a guy he's from a New York punk band called Show Me the Body, and I want to get him on a house track.
I love that.
Yeah. Show Me the Body, best band ever, by the way. Let's collab for real.
Okay. City with the best crowds.
City with the best crowds?
Mm-hmm.
I love being up north, genuinely.
Do you?
Manchester and Liverpool.
Really?
Yeah, they've always been really good.
I feel like I see you in Leeds a lot.
Leeds is really good as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Leeds up north?
Yeah. Leeds is Yorkshire.
Yeah, no, fair, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 3 a.m. or sunset slot?
I'd say 3 a.m. because I did 4 till 6 at Fabric in room 2 and it was mad.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Studio day or show day?
Studio day. I've got some stuff I'm looking forward to, some collab stuff.
That's good. Okay, I think I know the answer to this one, but remix or original?
Remix or original? Depends.
Yeah.
Because I've heard a lot of shit remixes. And people might say, I've made a lot of shit remixes, but, you know, fuck them.
Yeah.
Nah, I guess, like, fuck it, remix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. America, Ibiza, or the UK?
America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Is that it?
That is literally
I was
it.
enjoying that. That was fun.
We've covered everything.
I like talking about myself. It's so fun, isn't it?
Thank you for sitting with us whilst we chat away. This has been What's Cooking